The question of when and how to return employees to an office environment is on the minds of many of us. We're lucky enough to have General Manager of Information Technology at the MTO Group, Peter Schickerling, to talk about how the MTO Group utilized Microsoft Dynamics 365 Customer Voice to do just that. Peter, how you doing, my friend?
Yeah, I'm doing very well. Thanks for having me.
Fantastic. So look, before introductions, the very last trip I got to take was to South Africa. Beautiful country. I am sad that I'm not going to be going there anytime soon. So why don't you introduce yourself and tell us what you do, bud?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, yeah, thanks for the opportunity. So, yeah, Seth, as you say, I'm from South Africa. I work for the MTO Group. I've been in IT for the last 20 years, and I've worked for a range of different industries across South Africa, from some of the big global corporates that have presence in South Africa to some of the small, medium enterprise companies. And currently in my role as GM of Information Technology at MTO, I'm part of the executive committee. And what that allows me to do is sit with a lot of the other executives within our organization and make sure that I align our IT strategies to their business needs and requirements. So I'm part of this very interesting, complex, ever-changing environment within MTO, and it's been a really nice journey, and we've really enjoyed putting this solution together. And I work with a really great IT team and very much a world-class safety team that has enabled us to put this solution together. So yeah, great environment.
Awesome. So let's start first with, what does the MTO Group do? Let's start with that. And then obviously once we get a sense for that, how did the current times and the pandemic change things a little bit? Let's start with, what do y'all do?
So in terms of what MTO do, it actually stands for Mountain to Ocean, but it's a very multifaceted organization, and we do everything from the production of high quality timber that comes from the 94,000 hectares that we have under land management. Then we do energy production from biomass, which is some of the offcuts that we have of some of the timber products. We produce high quality plywood and shelving products. We play in the agricultural market through the macadamia plantations that we have. And then we also do a lot of skills development and training through our accredited training center. And then one of our big areas of focus is also building sustainable communities through socioeconomic development and enterprise and supply development. And then just to end off that question, some of the other things that we do is ecotourism. We've got some great multi-day hikes and overnight facilities that we have across our plantations, and then some really excellent world-class mountain biking trails that people love. And then obviously the responsible conservation, rehabilitation of the land that we have under management.
So this is really cool. It sounds like you have a bunch of people working in a bunch of different places. How did the COVID-19 pandemic change what you were doing?
So yeah, it was very much a challenge for us to keep an eye on all of these individuals, because obviously the key now with COVID-19 is you need visibility across all of this. You need to figure out where the people are moving, where the people are going, and how we do that was a significant challenge. I mean, we have a number of plantations and people moving across all of those plantations. So I mean, we had to really think outside the box in terms of the Microsoft Dynamics 365 customer voice solution that we put in place.
So what's the challenge? Because I want people to get a sense for what the challenge actually is, because you actually had to manage where people were at any given time. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so the challenge is, I mean, off the top of my head, we've got about 24 different locations that are spread across the whole of Southern Africa. And we've got multiple different contractors that do works at each of those different sites across South Africa. And I had to figure out who from which contracting company is visiting which site at what time and what potential sort of comorbidities they had. So trying to consolidate all of that information and provide a solution to that was a real challenge. And over and above the fact that in forestry, those locations are so remote, to trying to get communications out to those individuals, that was a real struggle. And I mean, and as we get into the detail on this, you'll see that at any one point in time, we were having up to 2,000 people checking in the morning and 2,000 people checking out in the afternoon. And we're talking sites that are, 1,000 kilometers apart, 1,000.
So here's the thing, you actually prepared a demo on how this worked earlier. Let's go to that so people can see how you solved it.
Sure.
So how exactly did we build the solution? Well, it's actually quite easy. So what we did was, as I mentioned previously, we used the Dynamics 365 customer voice platform So we created a list of questions, and we started off with wanting to know the date, your name, are you an employee of our company, are you a contractor, are you a consultant, or are you a day visitor? And also to which site you're reporting within our particular region. And then obviously what we did was we set up quite a bit of branching rules around that. So depending on which question you answered, it would then expose or provide a couple of other questions to you, so that we could actually figure out figure out the extent to which you were a threat or a risk to the rest of the business. What we then did was we also used Power Automate to actually create alerts, and we did that using conditions. So if I said, my name is Peter, I am in Cape Town, I am in South Africa, and I am at this particular site within Cape Town, and I said yes, as an example, to having a temperature of higher than 40 degrees, I would then have an alert sent to the particular manager in that area, in that branch, as well as the safety officer. And the way that we did this was with Power Automate sending an email based on the selections that the user made in terms of where they were and which site they were at. I would then pre-populate that information into an email alert that would then get triggered based on the user's answer. And I did exactly the same with SMS notifications. And you would probably at this point ask, okay, but why did you use SMS notifications? Well, the answer is quite simple. In forestry and in South Africa, we don't always have the best signal, and because in our industry in forestry, we're quite often in a forest and far away from a lot of the metropolitan areas, signal becomes an issue. So with SMS, you then obviously get the message irrespective of whether you've got 4G, 5G, 3G. You can have a signal as weak as GPRS, you will still get that message. And that was very important for us. So we kept it very simple. What you currently see on the screen is an example of what the email looks like that alerts the manager as well as the safety officer on the site. And you'll also see the SMS. So on the top of the screen, you'll see COVID screening response. Please check MTO employee. We blanked out the name for obvious confidentiality reasons. And then you see the location, our George Sawmill. Then if you read through the body of the message, it'll give you the name of the individual, which has again been blanked out. So individual so-and-so, a MTO employee. And as I said, we catered for employees, visitors, contractors and consultants. So depending on who answers that question and what the output is, it could say Mr. So-and-so an MTO employee, or Mr. So-and-so a consultant, or Mr. So-and-so a visitor. Location, George Sawmill has selected an answer on the daily COVID-19 screening questionnaire, which needs to be investigated. Meaning that if you get this message, you know that they have said yes to a critical question that would cause concern for us to make sure that we need to isolate that individual. And then if you look at the text message example at the bottom, you'll then see the same information that comes through in a text message. Please investigate individual so-and-so, an MTO employee, location, the George Sawmill, regarding a pre-screening questionnaire results. So what you're looking at right now is an example of the BI report that we pulled from SharePoint. So we integrated our Power BI into the SharePoint list. We pulled those results. So in this example, we've got 64 people that have completed the COVID screening questionnaire. And then we've broken it down to 3 categories for obvious reasons. So we wanted to know who the critical users were so that we can get the notifications out to those individuals. And then we wanted to know who had medical conditions. So someone potentially with bad lungs or whatever the case may be, so that we could take care of those individuals and make sure that we don't bring them to the office and keep them at home because they might be at higher risk. And then obviously we wanted to know some of the non-critical symptoms which would have been potentially cause for concern depending on whether those conditions got worse or not. And then obviously the critical symptoms, as I mentioned, with the automatic notifications.
Peter, that was awesome. How long did it take to put all of that together?
Yeah, I spent probably beginning to end, probably about 4.5, 5 weeks, and eventually went live with the 3rd version of the product after I put everything together.
I bet it streamlined a lot of the stuff that you were doing. How happy were you with the whole solution in the end?
I was extremely happy with the solution. I mean, we checked all of the boxes, and it really enabled our business to operate efficiently and very safely. And we, without a doubt, we have no doubt that this solution helped us to save lives and to isolate people that were potentially more at risk, that were potentially older, and as I said, people with potentially lung disease. We got a lot of this information. We were able just to make informed decisions and be proactive about it. So it was great from that point of view.
Awesome. Well, Peter, thank you so much. This was awesome. Before you go, I want to let you know that we're going to show a demo of Dynamics 365 Customer Voice as well. This has been awesome, my friend. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
All right, so let's go to this demo of Dynamics 365 Customer Voice to get another sense of how something like this can be built. Let's go to that right now.
Dynamics 365 Customer Voice makes it easy for you to collect customer feedback and get insights by sending surveys from the portal. For this demo, we will use a recently created survey. Customer Voice includes a satisfaction metric dashboard that reports the customer satisfaction results from your surveys. Thanks to the new integration with Wonderflow, you can enrich this data by integrating other feedback records, such as customer feedback of all kinds from e-commerce platforms. To get started, you can simply add a URL to a product page that contains customer reviews. In this case, we will use a product page from Amazon. Wonderflow will extract and analyze the customer rating and, more importantly, the free text comments on your target URL using our advanced AI. As with any other metric on Customer Voice, you can set up alerts. For example, you could receive a notification when your star rating drops. Once reviews are analyzed, they are pulled inside the Customer Voice dashboard. The new analytics and visualizations will appear together with your direct survey insights. The analytics will show how the rating of the product changes over time, as well as what features are mentioned more frequently by your customers, together with their sentiment score. You can also change your data view by applying filters, such as the date filter. In this way, you can drill down on your analytics and, for example, check the specific NPS results for a certain day. This makes it easy to identify issues and spot opportunities. Using Wonderflow together with Microsoft Dynamics 365 Customer Voice lets you track the actual reviews on your product without having to leave the dashboard. As you can see, Wonderflow analysis has identified specific features that are mostly mentioned in customer reviews and also determined the sentiment that is associated with them. You can review these insights on Customer Voice, on Wonderflow proprietary dashboard called the Wonderboard, or on any other business intelligence platform.